Give me 6 summers, just 6. I know it seems like a lot, but just give me 6 summers. I ask these young people at the donut capital of the world, give me 6 summers and I'll teach you 1, 2, 3, 4 forever success. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good day, good day, good day. Wherever you are in this world, have a blessed day. I wanted to talk to you this morning about success, a little bit about success, quite a bit about success. And I think I'm broadcasting to all of you out there, all my channels today, including the donut capital of the world, Tom's Donuts, the donut capital of the world. What a blessing. I'm here in Florida. I've got in around 1 in the morning last night. A lot of you follow me, and so I just wanted to follow up. Caesar, my driver, picked me up around 11:30 midnight last night at the Tampa airport. What a blessing to see him. He's always shows up. Go back and look at the reel beforehand and check it out. And you can see him. And he brought his girlfriend with him. And I got to meet her, Leslie, last night. But that's really not what the story it is about. But I think it's always a story when I come home. We're always coming home. We're generally always coming home. We leave and we come home. Isn't that interesting? The most traveled destination in the world is home. So I get to Florida. Caesar picks me up. I'm going through the motions. I get in here 1 o'clock in the morning finally, and I'm thinking about what am I going to talk about in the morning? And I see what God gives me. And God gives me James 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought, I can teach on 1, 2, 3, 4. How can you count to 1, 2, 3, 4? Can you count to 4? And I kept getting this vision or this reoccurrence or this understanding, talk about Jacqueline Gracie Policio. Well, a lot of you don't know who she is, but she is the first award recipient for the Tom's Donuts Todd Saylor Endurance Scholarship, Going the Distance Scholarship. And so I wanted to talk about her. I wanted to talk to you about this idea of endurance, this idea of going the distance. And I wanted to talk to you about this scholarship. And as it ties into James chapter 1, verse 2, 3, and 4. And I wanted to just kind of give you all a lesson. Give me 6 summers and I'll teach you 1, 2, 3, 4 forever success. 6 years ago, approximately 2018, what I didn't know, what I did know, what I didn't not know was that I would be sitting here talking about Gracie. Well, Gracie came into the donut shop 2018, the first year I bought it and rebranded it Tom's Donuts Original. Now, this is a business Christian talk podcast, and so I'm going to kind of squinch it all in today because I've got all my channels. We're going to be having a Labor Day Lake Life Revival September 1st at 9 o'clock. Music will start. I will take the stage at 10 a.m. and I will be talking to you a little bit about faith, a little bit about endurance, a little bit about going the distance, a little bit about success. I'm going to give the Wire Differently gospel. Then John Bruni's going to come on. And he's going to knock it dead with his feats of strength, and he's going to give the gospel, and we'll have baptisms after that as well. September 1st, 9 a.m. Save the date. I want to get that out there. We'll talk a little bit about it at the end. But I want to talk to you about Jacqueline Gracie Policio. So here's the deal. It's 2018, and I take this donut shop over. It's foundered. It's had seen its best 48 years or so. Kind of a sad story, but it's becoming a great story. It's now evolved into the donut capital of the world. But what little did I know was is that when in 2018 I had so many special young people working with me, and I remember working there as a child. I started working there when I was probably 7, 8 years old, doing dishes and standing on milk crates and helping my mom and dad make the donuts. And I just think about the success path that so many young people have had through the donut capital of the world now. Some 54, 53 years, 54 years. And I think about the ones that are most successful in life worked more than one summer at the donut. I can think of these people: Billy Simmons, Jeff Stackhouse, Robert Schmidt, Rhonda Cox, Joe Runyon, Cheese and Crackers, Mike Burnett, Scott Burnett, Bruce Knox. My brother Shane. We think about all these Jerry Pfeiffer. We think about Brian Boyd. These young people, and I really got to do better than this. You've got so many young people over these 50 plus years that go to work at this donut shop every summer, 3.5 months out of the year. And I thought about it and I thought, well, what can I do special in 2018? And so 2018 comes around. I take it over. Gracie is one of my first hires. She's 14 years old because you can only be 14 years old is the earliest you can actually work at the donut capital of the world, right? And so you have hours. I don't think you can get in there before 6 a.m. in the summer, and you have to have a parental slip. And we go through all this, and we want young people to come work at the donut capital of the world because we're only open 3.5 months, and they're the perfect people for it because they're school. They go in, they get out. But what this is really a training ground. McDonald's does it. A lot of these fast foods do it. But I don't believe that there's a better place to understand James 1, 2, 3, 4 than the donut capital of the world. Gracie comes to work for me. We put her into the process, and she is no slouch because her sister Bailey worked many years for us before Gracie was there and before I was there. So Gracie takes the reins, and I literally in 2019 I look at her and a young lady by the name of Tressa, and I think we've got to do something special to encourage these children, these young adults, these teenagers to work consecutive summers. And so I came up with this idea. If you work 6 consecutive summers before the age of 21, you'll get a $1,500 scholarship. Now, why did I do that? Well, I did that because I wanted to reward these young people for endurance. I wanted to reward these people for going the distance because I know by looking at myself and my brother and my father and my family and all the success that's happened through the donut capital world, those people who give up their summers consecutively over 5 summers have always became successful. And so we created the very first Todd Saylor going the distance scholarship. And Gracie is the first person to actually win this award. Gracie is going to Purdue University. This is where she got her certificate. This is where we did a little bit of a press release. It's going to be in the paper. It's going to be on the radio. It's just an amazing feat. And I want to talk about her. This is me actually reading the award to her, presenting it to her. Uh, this is Gracie. She's just got a great smile. Gracie never missed a day, never missed a summer. Just a remarkable young lady, and it's a privilege to give her that first Todd Saylor going the distance scholarship from Tom's Donuts to Donut Capital of the world. So congratulations, Gracie. So what does that have to do with today's lesson? What does that have to do with today at all? And I thought about it when I read James 1, chapter 1, verses 2, 3, and 4. And I thought, well, I would just share this with the world. I would just share this with the donut world. I would share it with the Wire Differently world. I want you to understand that success takes uh, protocol. Success takes systems, right? Success takes believe, prepare, attack, attitudinal disorder, the wired differently thing we talk about on so many occasions. But I thought we could live it out for real today with Gracie. So congratulations, Gracie. And Tressa's on your heels, Cam's on your heels. A lot of you are in the pipeline now to win this award because we're coming up on the sixth and seventh year. And I'm so grateful. I think we're going to be handing out 2 and 3 of these every year going forward. So thank you for being a groundbreaking student. Thank you, Gracie, for going the distance. But I want the world to know that you inspired this message today. So James chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, it says, trials and temptations, count it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, wherever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Perseverance, finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So, let's pick on Gracie a little bit because I think that this whole idea of perseverance, I think this whole idea of finding joy, I think this whole idea of having trials and tribulations, right? For 6 summers, she came back. I want you to understand that it wasn't just, this is just not any normal job. It's hot. It's in a trailer that's been there for 60 some years. I mean, we've been patching it together and we could probably replace it, but the whole lake community would revolt against me. But Gracie, like a lot of other teenagers prior to her, and I don't want to take anything from them, but this is a legacy uh, award. This is something that if you are a Tom's Donut alumni, if if you are a Tom's Donut uh, devotee, someone who's committed to Tom's Donuts and worked there. We have Kelly Robinson Brown came back and she got to show her children where she worked. I mean, and her grandchildren. I mean, this is a rite of passage for so many people. It was for me as a child. It's where I learned to lead. It's where I learned to work. It's where I learned to have perseverance and have these trials and tribulations. And so when I talk to you about Gracie, when I talk to you about these award winners, when you talk to you about James 1, 2, 3, 4, trials and temptations, count it pure joy. I'm going to give you the 3 pieces in this verse that Gracie really demonstrated for us. And when I say Gracie, I'm talking about all of these young people have persevered more than 2 and 3 summers. You see, they get up at 2 in the morning. They get up at 4 in the morning. They get up at 6 in the morning. They're giving up their weekends in the summers, right? They're giving up their evenings. They're giving up their afternoons. Some of them, most of them are giving up all their early mornings. It's not easy to get up at 4 in the morning. It's not easy to get up at 2 in the morning. It's not easy to go to work in an environment that isn't desirable all the times. I mean, there's countless times in that donut shop at Lake James, Indiana, that unfortunately sometimes bees come around. Sometimes it's just so hot, it's sweltering, and we can't air condition the place. Sometimes it's raining and not ideal. Sometimes it's cold. Sometimes it's just unconducive because other people don't show up. I mean, there's always this pressure to make a fresh donut. I mean, I think you think about like a donut, like what's a donut have to do with anything? I mean, it's everything in my life. And you know what? It was everything in Gracie's life. Gracie gave me 6 summers, and I've taught her 1, 2, 3, 4 success. Right? Thank you, Gracie. Thank you, Tressa Hanakam. Thank you, um, Cam. Thank you for all these young people that are working and trying to achieve this goal. But I mean, listen, not everybody can do it. Not everybody can be that committed. Not everybody can be that diligent. Everybody can allow or live in the right place or all the things line up. I mean, there's a lot of things that play in here, but most of all, not everybody can go the distance. It's not the efforts that separate us in this world, but more so the distances that we're willing to go. The distance. James chapter 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to break this verse down. Trials and temptations count it pure joy. My brothers and sisters, trials and temptations count it pure joy. Gracie and Cam and all you young people, count it pure joy. Tom's Donut teenage workers, right? Whenever you face trials of many kinds. I mean, how many trials did Gracie have? She didn't want to get out of bed. The donut capital of the world. We broke the world record. She got there at 2 in the morning and worked till I can't even tell you how long because I know it was probably longer and harder than she wanted it to be, but she was there for every donut to be made. She was there for every donut to be counted. She was there till the end. She literally breathed the success of that day. There was no way her and Francis and uh, Leona and all these people that there was just no way they were not going to let that record be created. They were not going to let it not happen. They were not like it's and I want you to understand that it's the success of doing it again and again and again and counting it pure joy, Gracie and the rest of you young people there, all you donut workers, count it pure joy. So number one, embrace challenges, count it pure joy when you face trials. And so what James is saying here is when you see trouble, when you have trials, when you have to get up at 2 in the morning and you don't feel well, when you have to stay because it's hot, when you have to stay because other people didn't show up, when you have to step in the place of other people because they just couldn't get the job quite done, when you have to fill in the gap, when you have to have a trial, when you're looking at a family trial, when you're looking at a financial trial, when you're looking at, school and trials and tribulations of those things, when you look at those things, one of the things that Gracie can teach us that James has already taught us in James 1 is that embrace challenges. Count it pure joy when you face trials. And I just kind of want to give you one word in this beginning of this scripture. Count it. Count it pure joy when you face trials. So the word count is an accounting term. In Hebrew, they wanted us to look at this word as count it. James wanted us to understand that it's a debit, man. It's a input. It's a deposit into your bank account of life. Each trial and tribulation, each challenge, I want you to put into your bank and count it as joy because you're going to overcome it. You're going to grow from it, right? So, number one, don't forget your journey. It's the fuel that drives you. I want you to understand that quote right there. Don't forget the journey. It's the fuel that drives you, is what brings us into number one. Embrace challenges. Count it pure joy when you face trials. I'm sure Gracie didn't think about that every morning when she got up, that she was counting it pure joy at 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning. I never did as a kid, but I did it. My brother and I, we didn't have a summer off till we were 21. A weekend off in the summer till we were over 21. So listen, did we count? And we started, we were 8, man. Count it pure joy. Count it pure joy when you face trials. Number one, make that deposit. Know that when you have trials, you overcome trials, right? When you go through trials, it's a bank deposit. It's something going into that depository of success down the road. Count on those trials. Conquer those trials. Put those trials in front of you, behind you, go through them, and know that you are counting on those as joy because they are deposits into further success. Number two, build resilience. Number one is embrace challenges, is what James is telling us and Gracie is telling us. And number two, build resilience. It says right here, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Verse 3, number 1, chapter 1, James, trials and temptations. Verse 2 in James 1, count it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whether you face trials of many kinds. Number 2 in the 3 pillars of facing trials. Number 1 is embrace challenges. Number 2 is build resilience. because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Look forward to the deposit because the testing of your faith will produce the perseverance you need for the next obstacle, for the next challenge in your life. That next deposit makes you stronger, right? It makes you strong. And number three, trust the process. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may mature and be complete. So Gracie first taught us how to embrace the challenges at 4 in the morning and count it pure joy. And number two, build resilience because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And number three, trust the process, Todd. Trust the process, Chad. Trust the process, Chris. Gracie, trust the process that every summer, give me 6 summers, I'll teach you 1, 2, 3, 4 forever success. James gave us this process. James gave us this trials and temptation verse. So the 1, 2, 3, 4s of trials and tribulation and perseverance, we learned from Gracie, Jacqueline Gracie Palicio. I want to thank her so much for her trials and tribulations and her efforts and representing so many young people that have worked in the donut capital world. So many of you who have created this world in which you live in. I really want you to understand as I close here, I want you to understand uh, how important it is to lift these young people up. I want you to understand how important it is for you to really, really be aware of how we're shaping this world that we live in. And when you look at a person like Gracie, and you look at a person, all these young people that are working in just the donut capital of the world, or McDonald's, or other places out there, and we're giving in this environment, and we're rewarding them, and encouraging them, and mentoring them. I think that that is part of our job in this world. We have to pass it on, and that's why this award, the Todd Saylor Going the Distance Award, was given to Gracie Palacio because she literally worked 6 summers. Right? She gave me 6 summers, and I was there, and I'm doing it now to be able to teach her and these other young people the 1, 2, 3, 4 forever success model. So James gave it to us. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to Gracie. Gracie's gonna pass it on. She's a lock. She's going to be successful. So all you listen out there in the donut world, I want you to understand, give these kids a shout out. And every time you go to buy a donut at Tom's Donuts at any given time, especially in the summer, you are shaping a young person. You're creating an environment for them to grow and be a leader. You're creating them debits, right, to face challenges. You're creating them the ability to build resilience, and you're giving them the opportunity to trust the Tom's Donuts success, right, system. So thank you very much, everyone who's listening here. Thank you for going to the donut capital world. Thank you for supporting Gracie and all these young people. Thank you for allowing this scholarship to happen. But I just want you to understand it's not just a donut. We're building people. We're building a lot of lives. So thank you very much and congratulations, Gracie. Hey, thanks for showing up this morning. Thanks for watching this replay, showing up this afternoon, anytime where you're at in this world. I just want to thank you so much for supporting this mindset, mission, movement, and ministry. It's a blessing for me, and I'm coming to you from Florida today. Get to wireddifferently.com, and type in the promo code WIRED15, and you will get a discount on any of the 70 plus shirts we have there. Faith Unshakable, any shirt you can find there. We'll even create a shirt for you. Just let us know. We'll put it on there and you can buy it online. Get an extra 15% off of all these already reduced t-shirts. And I just want to thank you guys so much out there in the Tom's Donut land for supporting my wife and I and the family and all these young people. You're shaping our country. You're shaping people. You're supporting an amazing, amazing system that's growing individuals, young people, and let's celebrate this. Tom's Donuts, Todd Saylor, Going the Distance Award. Thank you, Gracie. We'll see you.